Do not do this. Is all I can say. Please, please don't. SteamOS is a really great operating system that makes really good use of the Steam Deck's hardware. But what if you want to run Windows? Well, if you have a look online, everything says you can do it. This is, after all, just an x86 computer crammed inside a games console form factor. So you can run Windows, it should be able to anyway. But as far as the internet is concerned, it seems like it's a bad idea. You're going to lose performance, battery life, a lot of the optimizations that Valve have done to SteamOS. And as far as Valve are concerned, they provide drivers, but they're not frequently updated, and they kind of just seem to be, yeah, you can do it, here it is, good luck. So all in all, it seems like a really bad idea. So naturally, that's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to install Windows 11 on the Steam Deck and see what it's like and if it's worth doing. Of course, the first thing you might ask, why would you want to do such a thing? And as far as I can kind of think, there's one big reason, and that is multiplayer games that use anti-cheat. Things like Fortnite, Apex, that do not run on SteamOS because of the anti-cheat software, and the fact that SteamOS is built on Linux. Let's get Windows 11 installed, let's get it set up, and let's see what it's like. Let's get started then. Slightly janky setup, but this should at least work, and you'll be able to see the process. So I've got a pen drive with everything on it that I need. Let's follow the instructions from the website. We're going to put a USB-C adapter on that and plug it into the top. Kind of looks ridiculous, but there we go. And push it in. Just dangle from the top there. And according to the notes on the Steam website, hold the volume down button and click the power button. When you hear the chime, let go of the volume down button. Let's see if that works. Okay, now we'll just leave it and see what happens. Oh, look at that. It did actually boot. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's plug in our pen drive. And there we go. It is found it straight away. So we should be able to boot from the pen drive. And yes, slightly annoyingly, it is a vertical screen for some reason. So I'm using Ventoy on this pen drive. This is actually a really cool tool. Basically, you install Ventoy to the pen drive, and then you can just drop ISOs onto the pen drive, and it will boot any of them. So if you're like me, as someone that likes to install random operating systems on random hardware, having them all on one pen drive is amazing. It works very well with any Linux distro I've tried, and most versions of Windows. Doesn't seem to work very well with macOS, but still. Here we have it, and if we can zoom in a little bit, you can see that I've got loads of different ISOs on here already. Windows XP, that's not going to happen. Open Media Vault, Ubuntu, a couple of versions of Ubuntu, and Windows 10. Which makes me realise I don't have Windows 11 on here. So let's cut to me getting Windows 11, because that's what I want to install on here. God, I should have checked these things first. Anyway.
Sometime later.
Take two. Let's try this again. Just pop the pen drive in, hold down the volume down button, press just once the power button, let go once it chimes, and hopefully, into the boot menu. Here we go. So let's head into our pen drive, which again goes into landscape. That's just great. Yeah, that's fun. I'll fix that in editing or something. I don't know. Thankfully, the controls do work. I can move down and select our newly included Windows 11, and we can boot in WinBoot mode to boot up Windows, and give it a second. And we are into our Windows 11 install. I'm just going to go ahead and get this done. It's a Windows 11 install. If there's anything interesting, I will pop it in. But otherwise, I will see you when we have Windows installed. One notable thing is the touchscreen does at least work, so that's useful. I was worried we were going to need a keyboard and mouse, so far so good. One thing of note is we do have a bunch of partitions which are all set up, so we do need to kind of reformat this and get it installed. And there we go, Windows is installing. Deleting all those partitions was, took a second, but other than that, we're all good. Yeah, just going to leave this to install. Okay, Windows is installed. Just need to go through setup. Again, still in the wrong orientation, but the D-pad works. I think that's all that works, and so does the touchscreen, so that's cool. Let's get it set up. Going through the setup, one cool thing is Wi-Fi is working out of the box, and also because it's working with the touchscreen, the on-screen keyboard is also working, so that's kind of cool. At least from the Steam documentation, it suggested that it was going to need drivers for the Wi-Fi, so cool. Things have changed, I guess. And we are installed. It did take a while, not gonna lie. Definitely wasn't the speediest of install processes. But we are now into Windows. Literally the only thing I've done is gone into the display settings and orientated the display correctly. This is obviously a, by default, portrait screen, I guess. It's interesting that they did that, but it doesn't really matter. And out of the box, well, yeah, Wi-Fi is working. The Steam page said it probably wouldn't, but that page doesn't really get many updates. Steam are very much, or Valve are very much of the opinion that, yeah, you can do this, but we're not really going to support you. Here's the bare minimum we need to do. So there's that. In terms of what else works, well, the touchscreen works as a touchscreen. The right thumb pad works as a sort of mouse trackpad, which is kind of cool. And if you click down, that's kind of a click as well. So you can do things like double click and open stuff using that. And it looks like the left trigger is your kind of right click. It's working. It's, a completely workable Windows installation. There wasn't anything else I had to do, which is kind of cool. So let's get the drivers installed. Let's get Steam installed and a few other launchers and see what it's like for games. You don't have audio out of the box, which is from their list expected. It does look like Bluetooth is working as well, which is cool. So I should just need to install the drivers for the APU and the audio, and then we should be good to go.
The next day.
Everything is now set up, drivers installed, games installed. Let's give it a go. In terms of just general Windows performance, I must admit, it's pretty smooth. It's easy to use. The left trackpad thing here works as your mouse track. So does the thumbstick, although it's a little bit more sensitive than I'd like. Your trigger, your right trigger works as your left click, and your left trigger works as your right click. It's a bit more confusing, but with the trackpad in this hand, it does actually make sense when you get used to it. And yeah, we've kind of got a few things installed. Let's start by having a look at just some games that we'd play anyway as a benchmark to see if the claims of losing performance are true. And then we'll have a look at some of the games that you wouldn't be able to play when we're running SteamOS, but you can on here. A few other things to kind of mention. When you have Steam installed, things like the Steam button does work. It brings up Steam for you. And it will actually also, if you double click, load into big picture mode. So you kind of can get very similar interface compared to SteamOS, if that's the kind of thing that you do need. But you are still running Windows, so other games will work as well. Okay, so we have screen recording set up using USB-C to HDMI and then capturing that. So we should be able to get some decent screen capturing going on. But here we go with our desktop. Yeah, let's start with some more simple games that hopefully should just work. They would work under SteamOS as well, but it should be quite a good indication for people to see what kind of ability we have here. Here we have Half-Life 2, and the joystick is working, but the trackpad has stopped working, so that's a little flaky, a bit interesting. And we'll just check out the graphic settings that we have set up here. So we've got the native resolution for the device, and if we go into advanced settings, we can see that kind of everything is pretty high. We'll apply that, close that out, and we'll load up Half-Life 2. We do have MSI Afterburner running up in the corner there, so we can kind of have a look at frame rates and steadiness. And this seems to be pretty locked at 60 frames per second, which is obviously all you're going to need on here. It's only a 60 hertz refresh rate anyway, so you're not going to get anything more than that. But we've got very smooth frame rate timings, so I'm happy with that. And if we head up here, we can also see that CPU is not really overly used. This is definitely not a taxing setup for this device, which, I mean, rightfully so, really. It is quite an old game at this point. But still, it's good to see that it plays completely smoothly at some nice high settings. So moving over to Doom Eternal, and at the kind of high settings at native resolution, we can see that we are still getting pretty decent frame rates. It's sticking around that 60 FPS, which is exactly what we want for this game. Again, there really isn't a whole need for it to be anything better, because the built-in screen has a 60 Hz refresh rate, so as long as we get some nice smooth 60 FPS, I'm happy. And you know, I think, yeah, oh, we've just frozen, and the whole thing has just blue screened. Wow, okay. Well, there you go. There's one issue with Windows. Let's get it back up, and we'll try another game. Well, after that fun blue screen, we are now back. Again, that does highlight an issue of Windows, I have to say. Although, in all fairness, there have definitely been times where the Steam Deck has locked up and I've had to reboot it. So, you know, that's a thing, I guess. And all the driver folders have just come back when I had definitely deleted those. Windows, you're an odd one. You are an odd one. Okay, but anyway, the point that we might have for doing this in the first place is if you really enjoy games that do not work under Linux. This is what we've said. So let's give that a go. We've got two here to test. We're going to try Apex Legends out and we're going to try Fortnite out. Let's start with Apex Legends, which is installed under Steam. Let's see how it plays. Well, I've left this running for a solid 10 minutes, restarted it, run the game again, left it running for a solid 10 minutes, and we're still just getting to this menu with a spinning loading screen. So Apex doesn't seem to be working, which is kind of annoying because that's one of the reasons why you'd want to do this. Alright, let's move on to Fortnite, because I do not need to waste more of my life trying to get this to run. So not after a great start, loading Fortnite gives us a known issue with this graphics driver and wants us to update, but this is the graphics driver that Steam has provided us for its custom GPU, so I'm not 100% sure that we can even update. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's just go no and continue on. Let's see what settings it's set to. So frame rate limited to 60 FPS, that's kind of fine, that's all we need. It's using the DirectX 12. Oh, we're going to... And quality presets to custom, which looks like it's basically low for the most part. So we'll go back and let's just try and play a game. Let's just see how this goes. Also see that MSI Afterburner isn't working for some reason, which is a little annoying. Okay, let's just try and play a game and see what happens. Okay, let's see if the controller is kind of working off the bat. The thumbsticks are definitely. Okay. Okay. Well, X brings up the Steam on-screen keyboard, so that's unfortunate. The triggers work, and so do the shoulder buttons, but it asks me to use E to pick up the item, and that just isn't working. Can we change this? So I think basically what's happening is it's not actually, at least in Fortnite, it's not seeing it as a controller. It's seeing it as a weird keyboard. and that's not working so great. So the game itself is running fine. Actually, it's running pretty well, but you're very much going to need to remap the controller to get it to work properly. Maybe I need some additional drivers. I'm sure there's some community work around this, but that's kind of not the point of this video. I don't want to have to do anything extra other than what's officially been provided. So yeah, well, it doesn't work. I can't play the game properly. Oh dear, what a day. Okay, yeah, that's enough of this. So there you have it. That is Windows running on the Steam Deck. Also, one thing, it's incredibly noisy. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but yeah. What's my verdict on this? Well, I'm already flashing the SteamOS image to a pen drive to reinstall that. So hopefully that kind of gives you an indication. This is, unless you have an incredibly niche reason to do this, I really do not recommend it. If you play those types of games that only run on Windows and you really, really want support for those in a handheld, go for one of the handhelds that comes with Windows. It's not to say that you can't run Windows on this. Actually, Windows in general runs really well, but not for playing games, which, well, that's kind of what this is. So unless you have a really weird niche case where maybe you do need to use this as a full Windows computer, or you do have a specific game that you're willing to put the work in and map it all right and get it working properly, I would have to say, if you want a handheld that runs Windows, just buy a handheld that comes with Windows. SteamOS and what Valve has done with SteamOS is incredibly impressive, and that is one of the reasons why the Steam Deck is so good. So removing that really limits the device a lot. So there you have it. There is my painful review of Windows on the Steam Deck. Do not do this. Is all I can say. Please don't. But I do hope that you have enjoyed this video and you've enjoyed my misery. And if you have, please do hit that like button and subscribe. And I will see you again for another video very, very soon. Bye for now.